Hi there, I am Pamela Petrick, also known as the Dietless Dieting Coach, and I am a registered nurse, a certified holistic health coach, and busy women come to me when they are ready to ditch the yo-yo dieting, the constant weight regain, and the fatigue, and they are ready for natural, holistic strategies for their unique bodies so they can release the weight, keep it off, and feel light and free. And when they work with me via my Beyond the Fork Academy, we customize their journey for their own unique body. And so I am on a mission for you to find those solutions that are natural and holistic that'll work for your unique body, which is exactly why I created the Beyond the Food Weight Loss Summit, specifically designed for women over 40 who are ready to break free from the constant weight regain and nothing's working for you. This summit is different because I'm bringing together experts who will share their top strategies to help you release weight naturally without extreme diets, restrictions, or extreme workouts, and help you to achieve lasting weight loss and transform your health for good. Plus, every expert is giving you a free gift, all specifically geared for women over 40. Do you have your pen ready? It's time for our next featured expert for the Beyond the Food Weight Loss Summit, Real Solutions for Women Over 40.
Hello there. Come on in, get cozy, because you are in for a treat today. Welcome to Beyond Willpower, how to eat well when life is a lot, right? The stress, the fatigue, illnesses, when life gets lifey. And let's not forget about those chocolate cravings. Right. So if we haven't yet met, my name's Karin Maestro. I'm a health coach, breast cancer thriver, and the creator of the Easy Habits System and Thrivership School. Now, I specialize in helping breast cancer survivors to get their energy back, to stop feeling overwhelmed and disconnected, so that they could start to feel safe and at home again in their body and mind. One habit, one boundary, and one small shift at a time. Now, let me start off by saying this. If you've been struggling to eat well, if you've been struggling to maintain a healthy weight or to lose weight, even though you know it's really important, you're not alone. Especially if you've been through cancer, menopause, or just life lately, right? I want you to know that I see you. And today we're going to go beyond the food, beyond the shoulds, right? You should do this, you should do that, and definitely beyond willpower. Because what you need isn't more self-control, my friend. It's more self-support. And here's why this matters so much, especially for breast cancer survivors like me, but certainly not exclusively. Maintaining a healthy weight can help reduce your risk of breast cancer recurrence or of getting breast cancer in the first place. But that doesn't mean that you need to go on a diet or overhaul your entire life. It means you need a way of eating that feels doable, even when life is a lot. I say when life gets lifey, right? Now, I learned this the hard way. No surprise there, right? After a life-altering car accident, losing my entire family unit, my mom, my dad, my younger brother, taking care of other family members after either significant illness or accidents, going through major illnesses myself, including breast cancer, Zika virus, shingles, and let's not forget moving house 9 times in the past 10 years, including to and from the Caribbean, where I had the absolute pleasure. And every time I think about it, I get like so excited. The absolute pleasure of learning how to scuba dive and even getting to dance with a sea turtle. It came right towards me, looking at me, and we spun round and round 3 times. It was bliss. Talk about a gift. Now, I learned this the hard way because after all of these things, I tried being perfect. I tried doing all the right things because I know with over 22 years of working in health and wellness, exactly what to do. Just like you might know what you need to do. But doing those things when life was lifey, as you know, isn't easy. So that's why we're going to be talking about that today. Going to be uncovering some life-changing secrets that I now use, that I teach my clients so that you can do the same thing. So please hang out with me. Now, let's first of all talk about why willpower isn't a problem, right? We're going to bust that big myth real quick here. Because not being able to stick with it doesn't mean you're lazy, unmotivated, or weak. Doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. The truth is, most women that I work with are some of the strongest people that I know. They've shown up for everyone else in their life. They have powered through exhaustion and life, and they've smiled through fear on the outside when on the inside they've been falling apart. But here's the kicker. That same strength that might have helped you survive whatever it is in your life that you have survived can also make it hard to slow down and listen to what you need. So if you've been relying on willpower to eat well and it keeps running out, right? That's not a you problem. That's a system problem. Let me say that again. That's not a you problem. That's a system problem. Because willpower is like a battery. And when you're drained emotionally, physically, mentally, your battery dies out faster. So what we need is a system that works with your energy, no matter where it is, not against it. This is why we cannot rely on willpower. It's not what it's about. So let's talk about the real reason you can't stick to healthy habits. Let's talk about the real reasons that you might be struggling to eat well when life gets lifey. Perhaps you're exhausted before the day even begins. You open your eyes, you're in bed, and you're like, you're already sagging. Maybe your to-do list is longer than your grocery list. And maybe you're trying to juggle everybody else's needs while you're pushing yours to the back burner. I'll deal with me later. Let me take care of everybody else first. Is any of this resonating? And if you're honest, part of you might feel guilty for even thinking about prioritizing your health. Sound familiar? Well, what I've learned, both personally and professionally, is that eating well isn't just about food. In fact, I might go so far as to say it's never about the food. It's about boundaries. It's about how much you're taking on and how little space you're giving yourself to actually breathe. And that, my friend, is why inside my Easy Habit system, we don't start with the food. We start with you. And today I want to walk you through the first 2 steps of that system, okay, of the Easy Habit system. E is for expectations. A is for adaptability. So let's unpack both of those. Let's start with E. E equals expectations. Now, most of us walk around with invisible expectations about what healthy should look like, right? The pictures we see in the magazines, in Shape magazine or in Fitness magazine or on TV, we're looking at celebrities or even on social media these days. right? We've got this invisible expectation about what healthy should look like, right? You've probably got some of these expectations spinning around in your head. They might sound like, I should prep every meal on a Sunday, right? I should cut out sugar. I should drink a gallon of water before noon. Let me ask you something. Whose voice is that in your head? And is it actually helping you? Or is it hurting you? Because unrealistic expectations are one of the biggest energy leaks, battery drainers that I see in the women that I work with. They set us up to fail before we even begin. And that failure reinforces the shame spiral. Think about this. Do you have that negative voice in your head? I call this voice Negative Nancy, with no disrespect to anybody called Nancy. But it might sound like, why can't I just do this? I should be there already. I know this. Why can't I do it? What's wrong with me? But here's what I want you to hear loud and clear. The problem isn't that you're not doing enough. Problem is you're expecting yourself to do too much all at once. You're expecting yourself to go from A to Z without going from A to B. And when life is a lot and you're dealing with grief, fear, uncertainty, trauma, health conditions, your capacity is different, right? That's not a flaw. That is being human. So instead of aiming for perfect, aim for possible. Try this. Choose one simple shift that feels like a relief, not a burden. Ask yourself, what would it look like? What would it feel like to set a kind, realistic expectation today? That might be swapping out a takeout. Instead of ordering takeout, get a rotisserie chicken and some frozen veggies. It could be having a smoothie or soup for dinner. It could be saying no to cooking something from scratch and having some almost ready to go up pantry, right? I always have a healthier pasta, gluten-free, because I've been gluten-free for over 15 years, and a good, they're not all created equal, a good jar of pasta sauce, right? Now, for those of you that know, like me, that you need those instant, almost ready to go meals in the pantry, I'm giving you in the all access gift my Nutrition Labels 101 mini course. Okay, so that you can become a master at looking at nutrition labels, saying, within 10 seconds, is it going to come home in my cart or is it going back on the shelf? All right, because when you need those healthy meals ready to grab, like we all do, you can still be making a better choice than ordering takeout. Because the key here is to never throw in the towel on your weight loss or your health goals ever again. You're still making a choice. You're still moving forward towards your goals. And that's what matters. So make sure that you grab that Nutrition Labels 101 in the All Access Pass. Now, expectations that honor your capacity equals energy that comes back to you. Expectations that honor your capacity. In other words, you check in with yourself and say, what do I have in me today? Like how full is my teapot? Our body is like a teapot. And our energy level is the amount of tea that we have in our pot. And every day, if you're anything like me, you're pouring your energy, your time, your thoughts, your love, your care into other people. Even four-legged friends count, right? And don't forget, where our mind goes, our energy flows. And so when you are honoring your capacity, in other words, how much tea you've got in that teapot, you get to make a decision. I'm going to eat well, but I'm not going to diminish that amount of energy. I'm going to top it up. Because when you make those decisions to honor yourself, you're pouring back into that teapot. You're topping yourself up. And that is huge because you and I both know when we're flying high and we've got more energy, we're going to make good choices. We're going to make good decisions. We're going to go for more walks and we're going to move our body more as well as make better food choices, right? So that's the key. This is why it's so important to acknowledge where our energy level is at. Now, let's take a look at A, adaptable. E was expectations. A is adaptable. Let's talk about adaptability. Now, one of the biggest lies that we have all been sold is that healthy habits need to be consistent, right? Now, is consistency key? Absolutely. I was a personal trainer for over 10 years. I've been a health coach for over 12, 13 years at this point. Is consistency key? Yes, but not in the way that you're thinking. Because if you think about it, real life isn't consistent. It's not the same every day. And when we think of consistency, we often think the same every day. So what we're actually looking for is habits that flex with your life. Because if they can't flex, then they break, right? I call this the perfection trap. I know this well as a recovering perfectionist over here. Let's say, for example, that you do great on a Monday and Tuesday, then life throws like a wrench in your plans. You get a flat tire, your computer goes down, your mother-in-law needs help. You're suddenly being pulled in a million different directions. And so you miss a meal prep. You order pizza and suddenly the whole week feels like a loss. Right? Does this sound familiar? Well, let me say this. Pizza doesn't mean you failed. A glass of wine doesn't mean that you've blown it. And skipping a workout doesn't cancel your progress. Adaptable habits are like stretchy waistbands. They expand when life gets tight, right? So instead of aiming for rigid routines, we want to strive for resilient routines. And I help my clients create routines that ebb and flow with life. We all know it's the roller coaster. And our routines, our eating habits, our movement, our stress management, any and everything that we want to do that's important to us for our health gets to ebb and flow with life when we can embrace just a few simple strategies. So here's my word of advice, and this is a big one. If you're having a rough day, life got lifey, do not take a vote. What do I mean by that? You might say, do I feel like cooking? What's the answer when you ask yourself that question? And I mean every time. Do I feel like cooking? No. Do I feel like going for a walk? No. Do I feel like doing this? No. You're taking a vote. And when you take a vote, my friend, the answer will always be no. Just so you know. So skip that step altogether. So instead of asking yourself, do I feel like cooking? You could order pizza, but you can also get a side salad, yummy side salad, or vegetables. And the key here is to eat the salad or the vegetables first and then have a slice of pizza. Instead of, do I feel like going for a walk today? You could say, hey, body, how you doing today? A question I ask my body every morning, by the way. What if you're tired? What if you're achy? Well, instead of going for my walk, I'm going to adapt what I'm doing and say, okay, I'm going to stretch today. So try this, because instead of throwing in the towel where you feel like you're always starting over again from scratch, this completely eliminates that stop-start, that on track, that off track. I love having a plan B meal in my back pocket so that when you're too tired to cook, you've got, like, I use a organic brown rice pasta, and for me, Rayo's tomato sauce. There's a meal there. My husband's Italian. He's always happy. So think about it. You could have a 5-minute habit that still counts, even when the day's a mess. For me, that will always be sit down, have a cup of tea. Don't look at my phone. If I can, sit outside and just breathe for a minute. Adaptability keeps the momentum going. It tells your brain, I can keep going, even if today looks different. Right? Doesn't that make sense? Can you feel how much kinder that is? Now, let's pour on some secret sauce, because there's something else here that makes this even more spectacular. And that, my friend, is boundaries. So let's have a quick heart to heart. You can't have realistic expectations. You can't adapt your habits if everyone else's needs always come first. I get it. I get it if you're the caregiver. I get it if you're the strong one. I get it if you're the person that everybody turns to fix their problems. Me too. But when you learn that when you take care of yourself the right way, when you set boundaries that are completely in alignment with who you are and what you want in your life, again, it's what we teach in Thrivership School, you get to top up your teapot, your energy level, so that you've got more to share with the people you love, with the people you want to spend time with, right? Boundaries are not, I think so often we think that they're big dramatic showdowns or something, but that's not what I mean. I mean teeny tiny shifts, like saying to somebody, I'm not available after 8 o'clock if they want to go out for, let's say, a late dinner, and you know that you're going to be tired and you're going to be eating late and then going to bed on a full stomach, and you know that that's not going to help your weight loss goals. So you just simply say, I'm not available after 8 p.m. I'd love to have dinner at 5 or 6. Right? That's a boundary. You could say, I'm ordering groceries this week instead of running around and picking them up, because either you don't have the energy or the time, but it's still important for you to have the food in the house. So you're going to order the groceries from Instacart or DoorDash or any of the things that we have here in the US. If you're global, then I'm sure that most of you have a different option, but you're still prioritizing that that's something important to you. Even saying something like, no, I can't bake for the school fundraiser. It's a tough one, right, when your kids are involved. But you can say, I'm in a season of rest. Check in. Do you have the capacity? And do you want baked goods in the house if you're trying to lose weight? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. That's not my place to judge. But every time you protect your peace, you reclaim a little bit of energy. You top up your teapot so that you've got more to pour into others and yourself. Every time you say yes to you, you are modeling something so powerful for your body, for your mind, and for anyone watching, because people will respect you as much as you respect yourself. And boundaries are one of the highest forms of self-respect, because what you want matters, right? Boundaries aren't selfish, they're self-sustaining. And I want you to know you don't have to earn rest. You don't have to prove that you're struggling enough to slow down or to say no to somebody. You just deserve to feel good in your body, in the skin you're in now, today, as you are. So here's what I invite you to remember from today. You're not failing because you're lacking willpower. Absolutely not. You're struggling because you're trying to function on an empty teapot. You've given it all away. You've given away every ounce of everything you have to everybody else. And the fix isn't harder rules. It isn't pushing more. It's gentle ones. Ones that honor your energy, your real life, and your humanity. And that's what I teach inside my programs and what I believe with my whole heart, because I've lived it. I've grown through it. And now I get to help other women like you do exactly the same. So if you would like a super simple next step, I've created a free one-page cheat sheet. It's called 7 Simple Steps That Actually Work When Life is a Lot. 7 super simple tips that can stop you from throwing in the towel, that you can do no matter what's going on. Okay? It'll show you tiny shifts that make a big difference without relying on willpower, guilt, or perfection. And you can grab it. There'll be a link around this video where you get to grab it. My friend, remember, you don't have to keep trying to do it all. You just have to start doing life differently. And I'm here to help. So thank you so much for being here with me today. And don't forget, let me know in the Facebook group what resonated most for you today, because I can't wait to hear. Thank you so much for being here. Bye for now.